All right, I think we're live-ish.
We're live-ish and nearly alive.
Okay, so I'm gonna be. Oh, why is that Swift logo still there? We're not doing Swift. Sorry. I don't even made the wrong impression. Where'd the Swift logo go? The Swift logo needs to go in the alphabetical order. QRS. Okay. So we're gonna be doing some JavaScript. We're gonna be doing some Vim, of course. Always POSIX-y stuff. And I don't know if we're gonna be doing any other. I don't know. I'll just throw good old shell scripting up there. Why not? Because it doesn't fit. That's why not. Look, here's what we're going to do with that. I know a solution to this problem. It's called crop. So we had a filter. We do a special effects filter called the crop pad filter. And then we just crop the right away. About, I don't know, a bunch more. Boop. All right, there we go. That's our new shell script logo. Okay, so I will give people a minute. I'll give people a minute to join in, and then we'll get started. Also, let me double check that I did actually post. Did I actually post this on the Twitters and all that? I don't know that I did. So we're gonna do the Browsers-Screenshot-aaS, meaning as a service. I don't know if we'll get to the as a service part, but we'll get a little bit down there. You know, it's too bad I'm not streaming to the Beyond Code channel itself. But I'm not, so there's that. We're just going to do this right now. I'm going to go post in one other place. And then we'll go ahead and get started. And the timer went away, so we'll just go into it anyway. Pew. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna post that, and then go post another place, and then we'll get to the real deal here. Enjoy the weird vibes while we get to it. All right. So, let me explain. So I wanted to do this. I actually wanted to do this with not Chrome. I think we're going to try it with Chromium first, maybe. I want to do it with not Chrome because I have scar tissue. I think that's the main reason. And then I wanted to try it with Brave. I wanted to try it with Servo. That's what I really want to try it with. But I think that I'm going to have the most success and feel the most joy if I just start with the thing that's most likely to work well. So that's what we're going to do. And we're not going to go with the Chrome remote interface. We're going to go with Puppeteer because it seemed like from what I can tell, it is the better tool. I'm not sure in terms of code bloat and all that, but this is just a bloaty process anyway. We're running a browser, and it seems like because there's so much to do with JavaScript and so much to do with the DOM and all that, that if I want to do any stuff in the future, I'd probably need to pick JavaScript as the language. Because I thought about, well, what if I use Go or even Swift or something else? But I think that JavaScript, it's literally the native choice for this. So I think that makes it the right choice for this. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a container just for this. And I don't know what our needs are, but I'm going to go with a lot. I'm going to go with they're probably really, really a lot of needs. So we're going to go ahead and do proxmox. Well, first let's do env switch. All right, so we're on dash. Let's switch over to BNNA. All right. And then we're going to do proxmox create. And in order to make this easier, all right, we're going to try it with Alpine. I'm not sure if it's going to work with Alpine. But we're going to try it with Alpine. We're going to have to give it a crap ton of RAM. So probably 4 times that much. What is that? What does that end up being? Let's do node 4 times. So let's start with 16 gigs and see where that takes us. I have a limit on how much RAM can be allocated here. It's kind of a soft limit, but it's a limit nonetheless. Storage, I think that we're going to be just fine with 20 gigs. I don't think we're going to need more than that. I think we're only going to use half that. We can always expand it, so I might as well go small and then go bigger. So let's make it 4 gigs and see how that works out. And then we're going to target PVE3. That's correct. And we're going to call this one... we're going to call it Chromium, because we're going to do Alpine, right? Yeah, so we're going to call it Chromium. So the goal here is to be able to take a screenshot not of what you can see in the page, but of the whole page. And I'd like to get that screenshot in high DPI mode. And I want to be able to just run it as a service. And the thing that, if I'm understanding correctly, you just need a ton of RAM for this. And you basically have to load up some browsers to sit at a page like example.com, something that has no JavaScript on it whatsoever, so that the memory doesn't go tick, 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 tick. And then you just connect to the different instances, and you have a limit on how many instances you have, and every once in a while you just kill off an old instance and start a new one. So you basically, it's like having a thread pool, but you have a browser pool. So I don't know if we're going to get that far. What I want to, because I more want to try out the different browsers and see what that experience is like than I want to try out to get this a fully paid service in the next 2 hours, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll get our I'm going to call it Chromium 1. We'll go ahead and get that up, and we can change most of these values after the fact. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead, undo the caddy add here. Goodness knows, I love having my own cluster in production. It is just amazing. It is just so nice anytime I want something to just have it. I'm sure everybody feels that way. But yes, it's especially nice. Whoops. with these. Okay, so SSH config. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take Chromium 1 here. Going to add that to my SSH config. And let's see. Because this is Alpine, I think we're going to be able to log right in and get started right away. So, Mac OS setup, Ubuntu Essentials. I think I had an Alpine Essentials. I don't know what happened to that. But we're going to go ahead and get that done too. Did I put that on the other computer or something? Because what I have this do is I have it just print out exactly what I need in order to have the thing set up as a dev machine. Anyway, so we should be able to, if all of that looks right, we should just be able to do SSH Chromium 1. And boom, here we are. So now with that, I'm going to replicate my Ubuntu Essentials, but change it over for Alpine Essentials. Are you supposed to be having Cheetos right now, sweetie? Or is she gonna, is mommy gonna say, we're gonna have dinner?
I don't know because she's at the store.
Yeah, fair.
But can I?
All right.
Okay.
I'll make you a deal. I get to have a couple of Cheetos.
Okay.
All right.
Does a couple mean two?
A couple means two.
Okay.
But sometimes when people say a couple, what they actually mean to say is a few. But I'll take two for now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, they taste.
They're so good, aren't they? Cheetos are some of the best. Now, where's my... I had napkins. Can I have a few more? Thank you, sweetie.
Okay.
I see your t-shirt says Epic Gaming Skills.
What does the epic gaming skills mean?
You'll have to ask Uncle Colin about that.
Why?
Because he knows all about it. Do you want to see what I'm working on?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of letters and numbers on the screen.
Why do we need letters and numbers?
Wait, is there? Well, because I'm typing commands to the computer to tell it what to do. I'm going to create a tool that turns web pages into pictures.
Oh.
This is not strictly, it's not paid work. It's some work I'm doing, but it's kind of like crafting. It's a project I'm doing for fun. I will probably use it in my real work. In fact, I have a real work use case for it, but it's something that I'm doing primarily for fun.
Oh.
All right, what's the Alpine?
It's a craft for you?
Yeah. Is it APK update? Oh, it's
Hey,
a...
there's birdies.
What?
sing.
Oh, yeah.
What are the birdies for?
What's up, Beanbag Gaming? Somebody join in. So those are, they're just part of the music video. So I am working on creating a screenshot tool with a headless browser, and I want to try it with Chromium and Brave and Servo. Servo's the one that I'm most interested in, but it's probably going to be the one that takes the most work. So I'm going to start with Chromium and then move forward. I'm talking to somebody that was messaging online, sweetie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in my room now.
All right. I love you, little girl.
I love you too.
Okay. Bye. Okay, so we're gonna do this. So I'm setting up a container right now that's gonna have all my favorite tools that I need for development. All right. All of this looks good. Okay, so now when I do Alpine Essentials, it should pop out and it should give me my copy pasta. So I'll do this one first. How long have you been coding? Oh, about 16 minutes. No, I have got 20 years of experience. So well, you could go back earlier than that if you wanted to count dabblings in middle school or something, but since I was paid to fix problems with code at a keyboard, 20 years. Yep. Yep, see that? That's called clean code. That's wisdom. Wisdom seeping out. I've got a little bit of blah, blah, blah in my hair, so it looks a lot darker than it normally does. Normally, it's gray, but I've got some hair paste in there to make me look sexy for all the... My wife doesn't actually watch me on Code Online, but so, well, never mind. Can I program anything? No. No. What has made me successful is that I have picked niches. So I have never done a video game. I have never done a mobile app, although I really do kind of want to. It's just, I find all of the tooling around Xcode and that sort of thing just so... Pop it up, my friends, by the way. Gone dry. Gotta keep hydrated and caffeinated. I find all the tooling around Xcode really intimidating. I prefer to work with text files and just text file and a compiler. I found very early on, my first college class, that those GUI tools just really encumber you. They really make it difficult to learn what you're doing and the tools you're working with, and it's much more difficult to debug things. I love having tooling, but the tooling's got to be tooling that helps, and it's got to clearly help. And I find that the GUI tooling is just, it's like, I don't know quite how to explain it, but it doesn't seem to help. It seems to confuse people more and then make them dependent on complex processes and not be able to understand the fundamentals. You want to learn AI? Well, if you want to play around with it, if you've got a MacBook or a similarly high-end computer, like a MacBook Air, like the cheapest computer Apple makes, or the Mac Mini, it's going to be like 2-3 times as much as what you pay at Walmart for something. You can get started with Olama. Yeah, well, check this out. Well, it's not about Mac OS. It's about having the M1 hardware. But you can do this. So I'll actually update this to the latest version. So we'll do Webby Olama. And it'll download the latest version here, and we'll get a new model, and I'll show you this thing. Yeah, M2 Pro, chef's kiss. It'll work great. So watch this. We're gonna run Olama run code gemma. Whoops. First I gotta do. Was it Olama serve? Olama serve. By the way, get fish. Fish will make your life a lot better. The shell. That's also on Webby. So I'll give you that link in just a second. See how I got this type ahead? Do you see this wonderful, beautiful type ahead? And see how I can go through my history with things that match, like this? Alright. So I'm going to run code gemma. I should probably update code gemma, because I'm probably way out of date. But regardless, I have some instructions here on how you can put the UI on top of this, so that you get this. Right here. So, yeah, I tried to... You can kind of walk through this as a tutorial. But, write me some Swift code to print a message to the screen when my MacBook is unlocked. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it gets it right. Let's see. Notification, workspace. Oh, okay. It's using the older notification, but I think this is correct. The newer notification is com.apple.isUnlocked. Not did unlock, but... oh, wait. No, this is a notification center object. Okay. Wait. Oh, no. Okay, no, it's the same thing. Same thing. Anyway. So yeah, so you can run it locally and you can play around. I want to make an AI text to video, but like I'm only a year into programming. How will I get there? You know, you need to not worry about that kind of stuff. You got to stop chasing what's shiny and focus on the fundamentals. Because what's shiny is not going to be there next year. Do you remember the blockchain and Web3 and NFTs and what did they call it? Big data. And what was it before that? You know, like all these fads, they go away. AI is a hoax. Yes, it is super useful. Yes, I'm paying for GPT-4o, but GPT-4o is probably as good as it's going to get, which is pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. It can't do much more than boilerplate, but it can do boilerplate. The type of things that anyone can do, it can do. The type of things that you need someone specific for, obviously, it cannot do. And it can never get there. And there's a reason for that. And I think I just shared a video on this topic. I'd have to see if I can find it. But basically, let me see if we can find what Prime has to say about... oh, this is it right here. The model collapse problem. Check this out before you dig into... No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to dig into this. You need to take a look at this. This is the video to watch. AI is not like this world-changing thing. It's just not. We are at the end of AI. We're not at the beginning of AI. We're at the end of AI. Okay? Because it's the entire internet's worth of data. They've illegally taken all sorts of data from all sorts of sources. Well, okay, you can learn machine learning. Okay, that's different than LLMs. Machine learning is different than LLMs, but all this stuff is just heuristics. You're just coming up with a set of either probabilities or a set of rules, and then you filter a bunch of information through the set of rules, and then you create an outcome. So AI is it's a buzzword right now, but it's not what people think that it is. And but even still, AI is not the future. It's not some revolutionary thing. We've had AI for decades. And different types of AI get better at different things. But, LLMs have been on phones way before GPT was in the mainstream. What do you think Siri is? So you got a lot of stuff like that. But you need to watch that video I linked. It's not getting more advanced. It's not getting more advanced. And it's not getting more profitable. So we may see the end of AI here pretty soon. I hope that we don't, because I think it's useful. What's up, Anna James? That name sounds familiar. Anna James? Anna James? You are probably not anyone that I'm familiar with, but I had a friend. I think her name was Anna James. I think it's now Whitson or something. Anyway, not much, chilling. How about you? I'm just working on a project. I want to get a headless browser. I want to make it a headless browser service. What about AGI? AGI will never happen. And again, that video that I linked, I will link it again, just in case it disappeared from the chat or something or whatever. That video I linked is one of the best videos you can watch about it. But so in the moral realm, the realm of philosophy and religion, we have an expression: you can only lift someone to the height that you are standing, right? But this is true of data and information. We can't, this is highly philosophical, but it's where philosophy and science meet together because you cannot create something from nothing. So the people who believe in AGI kind of also have to believe in a mysterious power that uses time to create animate life forms out of the dirt, right? Which, in a way, there's some religious belief behind that too, but actually, now that I think about it, it's so hilarious how much those two things have in common. But there's this group of people that think that you can just have chaos, and out of chaos will come order, and this just is not the case. The law of the universe is entropy. So you're not going to take something less intelligent and then add noise into it, add stupidity into it, and then come out with something that's more intelligent. So humans become more intelligent over time because as they make discoveries, they can aggregate their intelligence and they can pass it on to the next generation. So you have an incremental progress of humans becoming more, maybe not intelligent, but knowledgeable. So we as humans, we are not going to be able to create a god. That's the essence of it. We're not going to be able to create an all-powerful being who knows all and does all and says all and is omnipresent and is omnipotent and is omnipresent, omnipotent, what's the other one? What's omni-knowledgeable? Omniscious, right? But that's the idea of AGI is to create a god. It's across the entire globe. It's omnipresent. It's omniscious. It knows everything, and it's omnipotent. It is all powerful. It can even destroy us. This is something that man has dreamt of for tens of thousands of years, is to create a god. And, in the modern age, we just call it AGI, but we're not going to create a god. Sam Altman is, okay. Oh, and thanks for being a first time at the stream, Anna. She's going to ask you to make art, mark my words. Maybe. If you don't think that AI is getting advanced, do you believe this technology has peak? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we have reached. So there's an S curve to all technologies, and this is something that we're at the top of a really combinatorial big S curve. Like lots of S curves are coming together right now. But there's this is related to the cycle of adoption. There's a lot of mathematical and natural principles related to this S curve. But essentially, in the beginning, like in the 1960s, we didn't have much compute power and we didn't have a lot of data accessible to a computer. And so we had ELIZA. And ELIZA was the first AI to pass the Turing test. You know? Well, then in the 90s, we had the internet and there was a lot more accessibility to share ideas about AI. And so we had this big boom in AI in the 90s. And but we still didn't have enough connectivity and enough bandwidth to get the data across. Well, then about 10 years ago, Elon Musk, Sam Altman, a few of these other people get together and they create this internet-wide, they take the same AI that we've been using for however long, they find some ways to tweak it. We have more RAM in computers, we have more storage space. More importantly, we have an internet so we can have hundreds and thousands of computers connected together to pool resources to be much, much more powerful than any of them can be alone. And then they literally steal from all of the internet, all books that have ever been published, all news journals that have ever been written, anything that they can get access to, they have stolen and they have put into these AI models. And that's the end. There is no more data. They have captured all of human existence through all of human history, and then they tweaked the model and they made it about twice as good, and they tweaked the model again and they made it twice as good. They added more data, made it about twice as good. So over the last 10 years, it's gone from GPT-1 to GPT-2, which has written most of the, every time you see a top 10 gadgets for blah, 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 that was GPT-2. And you've seen those articles for a decade. So it's not like GPT is new technology. And then there's other AI, there's the neural networks, there's machine learning, but the neural networks haven't panned out as well as they thought. They've been able to model a fruit fly, which is great. But yeah, a lot of the stuff is it's not, it's like blockchain. It's like, it's not, and that said, I do work for a cryptocurrency organization, but the blockchain is not good technology. It's either a stepping stone or stumbling block. I'm not sure which, but it's something that exists and it's something that can do a thing, but it's not what you would engineer if you were trying to do what people say that they're trying to do. It was designed by college kids. Anyway. But that's a lot of this stuff. A lot of the stuff is college kids, and then investors get involved, and then it's lots of money, and nobody has a business plan, and, it's, yeah. AI is a statistical model. It's a prediction. So if you've ever done averages in an Excel spreadsheet, you go down, you make a column, you do averages. Imagine doing that, but instead of just one spreadsheet, you're doing it in 40,000 dimensions, and you're cross-correlating everything. So you take every word, and you see how likely is this word. You take every book in the library, and you see how likely is this word to come next to this word. And you do that millions of times with millions of books and articles and web pages and all that. And then you just build up statistical tables, and then you allow the tables to start to kind of form their own networks by statistical weights. So at some point, I think it gets to a point where humans cannot oversee the curation of the tables, but we have enough faith in the general weights of the tables that we allow the tables to make other tables with the assumption that it's mostly correct in terms of, it starts to say, oh, all these words seem to be about programming. So now the weights are heavy enough that I need to make a new table that's about programming, and I need to put all of that over there. And so you get something that kind of mitosis, and then becomes a new table. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it works, but that's kind of how it works. I mean, obviously it doesn't do mitosis. It's not an organism, but that's kind of how it works. Is it's just you feed in a bunch of data, it gets a bunch of statistical relevance, and when a weight hits a certain point, then you got to split it up so that the weights can be more specific. And so you put it into an LLM, you know, let me go back to, where was my LLM at? Was it over here? No, it's not there. Let me go back to, did I get rid of Olama? So Olama, serve, Olama, and let's run, what's the new one? Falcon? Is it Falcon or Falcor or what was it? Olama models. Let's go here and we'll take a look at the models link from here. So we're going to models to try. Where are models at? Models. Okay, Olama library. There's a new one that just came out. I don't know if I can download all. Ooh, there's Llama 3.1. There's Gemma 2. That's great. Mistral Nemo, Mistral Large. Where's Falcon? Is it called Falcon or Falcor? Falcon. Okay, there's a new one. Maybe they're hosting it on a different site because they want to get more. I think it's Falcon. Let's search. Let's do a search for Falcon. Falcon 2. Okay, so let's do Falcon 2. That's the one we'll do. So we'll do Olama update Falcon 2. Whoops. Is it not update? Oh, it's pull. Olama pull Falcon 2. So this will take a bit. 6.4 gigabytes. We'll have to go do something else for a few minutes while that gets downloaded, because I don't do gigabyte downloads very often. So I'm just on slow fiber rather than fast fiber, because the slow fiber is so fast that the number of, there's a couple of times a month I do something like this where it's like, man, could have saved myself 9 minutes. But anyway, you can definitely learn about LLMs with Olama. You can build tools around the different models in Olama. You can create bots, like all the stuff. If you didn't watch the keynote from OpenAI, I think it was last year. Was it Dev Day? I don't know. If you watch their keynote, they announced all these features and they've implemented them. All it was they put it in the web page. They just created forms for it and put it in the web page, because all of the features that they created, they already existed. And they're like, oh, now you can create personalized bots. You could already do that. In fact, I think on here, I link to where you can learn about doing that. API docs, that might be one place. I have someplace else here that I was linking to. Mini Olama UIs. Okay. Generate a chat completion, create a model, list local models. They call it something else. They don't call it an assistant. But basically you can embed a prompt to say, you know, you're a research assistant for XYZ, blah, 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 blah. And then you can tune the weights. So if you want it to be more funny, like Grok 2, then you can give it a weight that is more creative, which means it'll put in more randomness. You can also put in the prompt. So you'll see here, it shows you, this is what setting up, there's the bot versus the model. The model are these things that you get on Hugging Face and you get here in the Olama library. And then, yeah, so I'm hoping, I don't know what's happening there. I'm hoping that this stuff sticks around, because I think that there is a lot of, I've gotten a lot of value out of 4.0. And as we get to the point where the 4.0 level of LLM is publicly available and anybody can run it on their laptop, I think that's going to be a really great place to be. But there's going to be a collapse. The investor money's not going to last. This stuff just isn't profitable. They had a bad business model to start with. And they are eating into their own market, because what does GPT do? Their primary market is to sell to advertisers to generate those lists of top 10 things, where they take in some Amazon reviews and maybe some Walmart reviews, and then they create a page that if you actually read it, sentence for sentence, is nonsense, but it has lots of keywords in it and says lots of great things. I mean, I don't know if you've ever read one of those top 10, you know, Gizmo widgets. I mean, like you search top 10 you search for best vacuum cleaner. You're going to come up with the top 10 vacuum cleaners in 2024. And it's AI generated. It's not generated by a human. And if you read it carefully, you can tell. If you skim it, you might not notice. But it's all just AI generated garbage. And so since selling to advertisers is their business model, or at least it was, and now they're competing with Google as a search engine, well, how are they going to sell to advertisers? You get what I'm saying? You know, it's the Ouroboros. It's the snake eating its own tail. This is not the beginning. This is the end. This is decades of AI. And at very last, once it's captured all of human information, now it's beginning to be useful. And we can tweak the model. It might get twice as good. It might even get up to 10 times as good. It will never get better than that. We don't have enough water in the oceans to cool the data centers. We don't have enough lithium and silicon to mine. And more importantly, we don't have enough data, right? Because there comes a point of diminishing returns where, okay, let's say you want to be the best in the world. You want to be the best in the world. If you want to be a good weightlifter, you go to the gym for 6 months, you'll be a great weightlifter. If you go for 6 years, you're going to be a little bit better. Like you're going to go from the top 1% to the top 0.1%. If you spend your entire life being a bodybuilder, you're like, well, those people look very grotesque, so you can see, but you get to the Olympic level of something and you're only marginally better than the next person. The more effort you spend into something, eventually you start to get trade-offs where you're dedicating every day to this thing and you're getting marginally better, fractions of a second better, fractions of a pound better. But it's important to learn how to type without looking at keyboard. Yes. I want to make humanoids robots. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Can't help you there. Anyway, let me get back to this thing that I'm doing here, that I'm doing. So I got to look for my Alpine. I had the instructions here. Alpine Chrome with Puppeteer. Is that what I was looking for? That doesn't look right. Okay, Alpine Chrome. This is not going to be right. So I just need to look up Chromium. Oh, this is Alpine Chrome. It's a different build of Chrome. Okay. So that's Chrome, not Chromium. Got it. Puppeteer. Okay, let's see. I'm going to take away this one. All right. What's up, sweetie? Oh, let's see. Let's see what it is.
There was he's our friend. I don't remember his name, but he gave us invitation to his birthday party.
Oh, cool. Well, keep this for mommy, okay?
Okay.
All right, sweet girl.
It's an invitation.
You are so lucky to get invitations from your friends. It is a great time when you get invitations from your friends to go to their parties. It is so awesome. All right. Will you go back in the house, sweetie?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, little girl. Okay, how do I think like a program? Java or Python? Neither. Go. Golang is the thing to learn. Java is terrible to learn. Python's good to learn, but Python is terrible to use. Go is good to learn and good to use. Python is probably the most expensive programming language, and I think that's why it's made a recent comeback, is that AWS makes a fortune on people running Python programs because they are extremely memory inefficient and slow. That means that you need a lot of power to run them. Although a lot of their underlying stuff is written in C, but still, there's a lot of stuff that ends up being really slow. How do I think like a programmer? creedsofcraftsmanship.com. This is your one-stop shop resource for how to think like a programmer. And I think one of the best talks on here, there's two things. One, eating your own dog food. Figure out a problem that you have, solve the problem that you have. Okay? And the other one is the John Osterhout talk is pretty good. Problem decomposition. So we'll copy that one. I'll send that to you. And yeah, Go is the best language to learn because it has the best resources for learning. Let's see, was there anything else? There's more good Go code out there than probably any other language. JavaScript probably has the largest amount of bad code because you have more people that have no idea what they're doing, posting tutorials for other people that don't know what they're doing and creating courses so that they can make money off of people that don't know that what they're being taught is useless. You know, it is rough. It is really, really rough right now to be a programmer because of just all the hype that's been in software as a service and that sort of thing. It's really tough. JavaScript is an incredibly easy language if you learn what you need to learn, but it's very, very difficult to find someone that will teach you that. I have a language I call AI script, which is also will run in a browser. So you can write it, but I don't have a good resource for let's see. There we go. No, that's not the one. There we go. This one. This is it. So unfortunately, I should write a book or something. I really would like to do it. But all I've got is a bunch of spec stuff here. And I write in this language. But I don't have special tools for it. I wanted to get some, but I started making some, but I just haven't been there. There's kind of a bunch of examples of good and bad on here. How to like various patterns. The language draft is pretty decent, but I'm the only resource for this, so you shouldn't learn it. Well, I would say you can look through here and you can learn JavaScript better by looking through here. Because AI script will run in browsers. You don't have to have a special compiler. It's a swash letter J. I mean a swash letter I, which looks a lot like a J. See, it's AJ script, but it's AI script, but it's AJ script. See what I did there? Oh, I have no idea how to use GitHub? Okay. Oh man. Then if you have been learning to code and you're not familiar with GitHub, you need to learn how to use Git. Okay, I'm going to go back to Creeds of Craftsmanship. Everything that I'm going to recommend to you is on Creeds of Craftsmanship because these are the things I recommend to people. But I do believe I have some markdown resources. First thing you should learn before anything else is how to do good documentation. And that comes with learning Markdown. So this is what I would give you. Okay, well, yeah, Git is version control. Oh man, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming the number of things you need to learn. Somebody needs to distill it down. That's what the idea was was to create what's the minimal set of things you know to be extremely productive. But I just had a hard time with it. I had a lot of analysis paralysis. The person that I had working with me on Beyond Code things didn't stick. So he decided that video editing wasn't for him, essentially. Anyway, what was I doing? I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get back into it. Okay, I'm going to try to actually do what I was doing for a little bit here. I get excited about this stuff. I have so much passion about it. So much passion, so much frustration, so much love, so much hate. Like, it is really rough for me. But to answer your question about Swift, I like Swift. I used it for one project yesterday for the first time. Yesterday and the day before. Or no, it was yesterday and this morning. Was that it? Anyway. And I really like it. I think that I can't speak to it because I only used it one day, but it seems like it's on par with Go in terms of being one of the best languages. But they're definitely not as well thought out as Go. It's not as well thought out as Go. The language is more ergonomic. Ergonomic. It's more ergonomic than Go, but the engineers behind it are not as wise. They might be as smart, but they're not as wise. They don't have the same level of experience under their belt to help guide them in making the correct decisions. One of my favorite articles from the Go team is The Road Towards Go 2, where they talk about the power of not making decisions. If there's in the face of ambiguity, refuse the temptation to guess. All right, I'm looking over here in my other... Oops. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I had it up, didn't I? I got off track. Let me get back on track. I had in front of me an example of how to do the screenshot. Let me see. Okay. No. Sandbox screenshot, hide scroll bars. So let's first see. Okay, did I get what I needed to? Oh, and we could pull up the Falcon 2 and just see what that's like. All right, Alpine Essentials. I got the screen stuff. The other stuff I'll let go for the moment. Oh, wow. This one's actually... that's so bad. That's so bad. Oh, it's not trained for code. It's probably trained for general, like, ad generation. I mean, I believe Falcon 2 comes from Facebook. I think that Facebook's primary business is running ads. So Falcon 2 is probably geared towards ads. You could see the code Gemma was way better. It was on par with GPT-4o. It looked like it was just a little bit of out of date in terms of its source material, but yeah, Falcon, that was laughable. There's probably also a bigger Falcon model. Many of the models have stages of models, so you can get the 4 GB version or the 10 GB version or the 30 GB version, and that will make a difference in the output that you get. But that was really fast. I wasn't expecting that to be so fast. Sometimes they take a little bit more time, but then I don't know, it's all about the connections they make and the statistical analysis. Anyway, we're gonna do all right, sudo apk add no cache chromium. All right, we're going to add chromium. Dang, that's a lot of dependencies. Are you a white mode or dark mode guy? I'm team light mode. I think that dark mode can work, but most designers do dark mode really, really poorly. I'm trying to think of a website that has really good dark mode, because I have seen one, but I can tell you that it's not GitHub. Theirs is pretty bad. Okay, I don't know if we want to do no sandbox. Screenshot, hide scroll bars. No GPU, maybe. Or example.com. I think I need to put it in headless mode or something. Let me see. Headless. I think I have to put it in headless, and I think I have to tell it no GPU, in part because I don't have a GPU on this system. All right, screenshot.png. So now what we do is we get ourselves a little web server here, and we'll do file browser on it. Okay. All right, let's see if GPT can help me with this. I want to run caddy with file browser. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, that just doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't. It's giving me, it's hallucinating. Okay. Oh, what are frameworks? Frameworks are the collections of tools that are built on top of a language, typically outside of the standard library. They're what big companies advertise to developer communities to make it seem like they're growing faster than they are and have more future use cases for their product than they do. Yeah, good programmers use light mode. I don't know. I don't think that there's any correlation between good programmers and bad programmers between light mode and dark mode. I know that dark mode is more hip, but I think that when dark mode is done well, it's great. It's just that people are really bad at choosing color schemes for dark mode, and you know, the same thing that's happening to programmers is happening to designers, where they're just hiring anyone without any regard for their actual talent or credentials. And so you get a lot of designers that really just don't know what they're doing, are not classically trained in design. They're essentially sales bros that figured out how to use Photoshop. And, you know, they're really good. Sales bros do have a lot of design, you know, there's a lot of design that they understand. Okay. Can I print the environment? I guess I'm just going to, okay. Give me a caddy file example that uses file browser. I don't need to do this. You know, I don't need to do this because I already have this. I already have this right here. Ah, there we go. There we go. It's file server, not file browser. Okay. Okay. So actually, let's not do that. Let's not expose our private keys to the world for a minute. We're going to do... Okay, so now we're going to run caddy. And then I'm going to open up another screen. And then we're going to go to Chromium 1.1101.bnna.net. I think it's this. All right, so it worked. But we need to modify this. Think that that's as far as we get with just that one command. But that's pretty sweet, right? Problem is, I don't know if you can see, but look at how terrible those fonts are. So I wonder if we can turn on anti-aliasing or something like that. You know, just from this level. I think that a lot of the stuff, you have to use the remote developer tools in order to get it to work well. Let's see. All right, I'm going to close this out, but I'm going to put this in here. How's everybody doing? That's just something for me to look at later about optimization. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Let's look for... I'll ask GPT, actually. How do I use Chrome headless to create a high DPI full page screenshot? It's probably not going to be able to tell me because I don't think you can. Ooh, forced device scaling factor. Okay, maybe it will. Virtual time budget, window size, full page, no sandbox. Why no sandbox? That seems like a bad idea. All right. Let's see what my current browser size is set to. Whoa. Can I have it tell me what the size is? Okay, 1072 by 791. So that's almost 1280. So if we take this out to here, is that going to be our standard size? So that this is beyond our standard size. There is some way to have it. I don't know what that does. All right, we're going to try this one out. Okay. Render 2x scale, simulating high DPI. Cool. Virtual time budget. Okay. All right, I like that. I like that. That was actually super helpful. That makes me wonder if I even need all that other stuff I thought I needed. Maybe I don't need to worry about JavaScript or or any of that. I think I probably will, but we'll find out. Certainly, I can tell you that Servo, this will not work with Servo. Okay, headless, screenshot, hide scroll bars, is that already in the other one? Headless and screenshot's already there. So time budget. I wonder what virtual time. I wonder what that means. Yeah, we'll leave disabled GPU for now. And I'll be very interested to try this with Brave. I doubt that we'll get an Alpine build for Brave. Let me go ahead and spin up another system, except we're going to make this system an Ubuntu system. And we're going to beef up that storage because it's Ubuntu. Actually, 8 should be fine. Chromebuntu. There we go. So that server will be up and available shortly while we're working on this one. How do I tell? How do I specify the output file for the screenshot? I don't think that's true. But we can try it. It surprises me, you know, because the hallucinations, you know, sometimes they hallucinates, you know, sometimes it hallucinates, sometimes it doesn't. So my timestamp, or rather, let's go with B timestamp. We're going to do I had an alias for timestamp. Let's see, is this the one I want? No. What do I want? %F %HMS, right? We'll do example com underscore bts.png. Let's see if all that works. It very well may not, but we're going to give it a try. Okay. Oh, whoops. I got another typo there. I'm going to check on comments in just a second. I had the need to get some other stuff done. Okay. So here we go. It looks like it's running. Oh, we've got bad quotes. There we go. See? Fish. This is fish. This is the shell for champions. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what our screenshot is. Oh, that didn't work out the way that we wanted it to. It's okay. It's okay. I got us covered. And then I'm going to take this screenshot and we're going to see what it looks like. It'd be very interesting to see if full screenshot results in a shorter page. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, now we need a really, really long page. Let's see, maybe what's a good long page? What's a good long page that we could go to? Probably an issue page somewhere. Let's go look at some issues. Let's go to let's see, what am I? Do we have one that's got a lot of content in it? No. Well, at the very least, this is larger than the page size. We need to find something that is long. There we go. This is it. This is the one. Here's our test. Okay, so and then I'll go check comments. That took a long time. So far, so good. This is super easy. Way simpler than I thought it would be. And just imagine how much money people make off of that line that I just wrote. Think of how many services there are out there that what they do is show you what a web page looks like in a browser. I spent most of this hour blathering on, and with a little bit of an article lookup and a little bit of GPT, boom, I got it. Now all I got to do is build how to take the credit card. We got the service. Oh, I don't like that. I am a little confused. Okay. Headless Chrome full page screenshot. Oh, this is one of the places that I actually thought was good information. Was the option viewport? Let's see if we get a viewport option if we just call it directly manually. All right. All right, now I'll go back to the chat. Okay. Hey, what's up, Hunar? Okay. Do you need frameworks to make more complex projects? No, you don't. You do not. There is an adage, either you will use a framework or you will end up building one. And I believe that that's true. As a young developer, you have a lot to gain from using a framework because it will teach you a specific way of doing things and limit your focus. And if you limit your focus, that's the definition of sharp, right? A blade is sharp if it's very limited in what edge comes in contact, the business end. If the business end is extremely limited and what it's going to make contact with, that's sharp. That's the definition of sharp, right? So you can become a sharp tool by using frameworks that are well written and designed for people to be easy to learn. Again, this is where I think Go does really well because you don't need frameworks in Go. The Go standard library can do just about everything that you need with I don't know if I ever have to step outside of the standard library and Go. Sometimes it's more convenient, but I don't know if I have to. So Go is really good for that. But yeah, frameworks eliminate a bunch of what you can do to focus on a specific task. The problem with frameworks is twofold. One, because a framework is popular, people begin to use it without thinking about whether or not that framework helps them get their problems solved. So React is the number one example of this. Getting a form done on a web page, go watch some of my earlier videos or my videos on the Dash Incubator channel. I built this web page in like a day and a half. The total time, it seemed like it was longer than it was, but when I look back on this, all that this does only took me a very short amount of time to do. It was 2 days total for the entire project. So you can watch that video series and you can watch me over the course of 10, 20 hours, something like that, build this from scratch. And at first I thought that because I was really sleep deprived by the end of it, I'd said, oh, well, I think I used some of the other tools that we'd created. No, I literally built this from scratch. There is no tooling that had existed before other than the style sheet that I chose and a fetch command that I copy pasted. And the rest of it, well, the back end I was using was already provided. But this whole UI, so when you need to just give somebody a form field to put in their email address and submit to collect an email address, React is not the right tool for that. React was designed for infinite scrolling and comments in infinite scrolling. Be able to track comments in infinite scrolling. That's what React was designed for. Most people don't have that problem. Most people are not developing something that's primary purpose is to infinite scroll with comments. So that's where frameworks bite you in the butt. That's the one side, is that people, oh, this is so cool. Oh, this big company that I want to work for one day put out this thing. It's so awesome. I got to do it. The other side of the problem is then, as that influx of developers come wanting the tool, and then they find out that they can't actually use it to do the things they need to do, then the people who created the tool start trying to make the tool do everything. So then the tool loses its value. So instead of being really, really good at doom scrolling with comments that live update, React becomes this framework that's just kind of sucky at everything and just super bloated and really cumbersome to use, and has 6 different ways to do every possible thing between use state and classes and hooks, and it's just a minefield of caddishness. So yeah. Can someone make a company with coding programming? No. Yes and no. Yes, you can make a lifestyle company. You can make a company that supports your family and people in your community. But most companies are marketing. Most companies are not product. Most companies are Salesforce. So no, you cannot make a growth stage company with coding and programming. Growth stage companies are made by marketing and investment. But those are pretty bad companies. They have a negative, output on the earth. So the good companies, the small ones, the ones that are 5 people, yes, you can create companies that focus on code and programming that produce incomes for families to be able to live a comfortable life. Oh my, you are still alive. Hunar, I am. I can't believe it either. I thought I was dead. Turns out I'm not dead. As soon as I found out, I got back on stream. Let's see. It's been a while. Everyone think of something to distract him. Something. What do you think of partial TS support in Node? I don't even want to know, man. I don't even want to know. I don't have emotional space in my life for it. I'm learning Python at the moment. Why is it a rule to indent? Dude, I will tell you this right now. If you don't understand indenting and you're a year into programming, you need to quit. And I'm not saying that lightly. You need to quit. You are not going to be a programmer that's going to be able to find a job easily and make money to provide for your family. You need to change course and do something else. And I am dead serious about that, because indenting is the basis of being able to visualize logical blocks. And I have watched a lot of people over the years. If you don't get indenting within a couple of weeks, if you're struggling with indentation, you need to pick something else to do. Because if you do make it, you're not going to have imposter syndrome. You are going to be an imposter. You're not going to get into programming on the merits of what you're able to produce for other people and your ability to understand and solve problems, break them down, and find solutions. You are going to get into programming based on having a nice smile, being able to dress well in an interview, being able to speak well. And, you know, prove me wrong and come back and let me know. No, you know, I was able to do so much good work without ever having to learn to indent. Prove me wrong and let me know. And I mean that honestly. But if you've been programming for a year and indentation is a struggle for you, quit. Coding is not for everyone. It's not a moral value. You're not a better person if you know how to code. You're not a worse person if you don't know how to code. Coding is, it's not moral. Coding is amoral. Does not make you a better or worse person. You got to provide for your family, and you got to contribute to your community, right? If you can't get the basics, that like if the very core of being able to understand how to logically organize text to visualize the shape of the logic, if that is a problem for you, please quit. Is this your website? This is a website I made. Yes. I look like some dude from some show. Tom Welling. I don't know who Tom Welling is. Now do I need to look up Tom Welling? Tom Welling. Wait, I look like I don't know who this is. I don't know. Oh, the actor, not the YouTuber. Oh, wow. He's very mysterious. Oh. Okay. Well, I don't know. No, wait, this one. Oh, is this the same guy? He's just got more wrinkles now? I need to grow out my goatee. Okay. We'll consider that. Where's the link? I'll check out the video. Is it on this page? Which video? I don't remember. Like a software company, I'm saying. Like a dev shop? Can you make a dev shop so that you sell software to other companies? It's mostly marketing. Wasn't Google coded and YouTube? Well, yes. But it's like the business didn't come from the code. The business comes from the marketing. And more importantly, investment, because you have to redefine business. The modern world has redefined business to mean a company that takes from the poor and gives to the rich through the government. That's what a business is these days. So when you look at Google gets their money by the government printing extra money through the Fed, provides it at low interest rate to investors. The investors put money into the company. Company doesn't have a product. Company isn't profitable. Company doesn't sell to customers. The company just takes investment. And then once they have enough users, then they get sold to another investor. And then that investor puts more money into them, right? So it becomes this game of hot potato where you're passing around an entity that doesn't have a business model and can't make money. And that's a business, right? So Google, my understanding is that they're barely profitable, that they're squeaking by on ads, but they have made it to profitability. Apple is actually profitable, which makes sense because Apple actually sells a product to consumers. You know what Apple sells. Nobody, you say, what does Apple do? They sell phones and computers. What does Google do? They make Gmail. They make this. They make that. What do they sell? So that's the problem. In Java, it's not a rule though. I don't know what you're talking about. But the thing is, it doesn't matter, man. It is a rule of programming. If you are not doing indentation, if you are struggling with indentation, you have a problem. Like you really, I mean, I'm not saying this to be mean. It is a core fundamental aspect of programming. Is about logic. Logic is about having to break things down into pieces and move them around. A lot of people are intuitive, and they do really valuable work in society using their intuitive nature. Programming is not intuitive, it's analytical. And you need to be able to represent an analytical process because you're trying to reproduce, you're trying to achieve a certain form of success and then reproduce it over and over again. And that's an analytical process. It's not an intuitive process. And these are different types of thinking. Intuitive applies very well to the arts, to marketing. Analytical applies very well to engineering, to coding. You know, you'll meet a lot of people that are in the intuitive space. They're making way more money than people in the engineering space. You also meet people in the engineering space. They're making way more money than people in the intuitive space. You know, the analytical space. So neither one is better or worse. They are different. But if you don't get indentation, it's not good. It shouldn't have to be a rule. It should just be done. Well, if you love it, great. But you got to consider, are you making art or are you producing a product? It's like, I don't know. Indenting is the same good punctuation of programming. Understanding the language is a pain in the butt. I don't know what that means exactly. Can you understand? Sure, but the time spent is unnecessary. It should be... Okay, so this is where I'm going to flip-flop the uses of words. If indentation is not intuitive to you, analysis of processes is not intuitive to you. All right. What's the point of indentation in coding in Java? It's not a rule. It's not about the rule. It's about being able to understand what you yourself are doing. What is the logical grouping? Which of these things belong together and which do not? Which are inside the scope of operations, which are outside the scope of operations. All right. Indent encoding, I don't really pay attention to it. Oh, and I lost all the chat. That stinks. So I lost the last, let me see if I can, what do you define by indentation? Had the problem. Okay, I lost the chat. There's a little bit of it left over here. Indentation is the ability to know which lines of code go together. Yeah. Well, you say, of course you understand it, but I've known a lot of people who don't, and it scares me. Okay, so let me try again. I'm going to take away this window size. Oh, well, actually, no. What I want to do is Chromium browser help. Million options, I'm assuming. Okay, it looks like we do need to turn off GPU. So I'm actually going to go back, at least disable GPU. I see a bunch of errors. Yeah, like for me, I let Prettier do the work, or the code formatter, you know, go Fumpt or Swift format, or, you know, whatever it is in the language I'm using. I just let the formatter do its job. Okay. So where can I find a list of options? So list. Oh, did you want, is this the website you wanted the link to? You can check it out. All right. List of Chromium headless options. I think we're actually going to have to get into the developer protocol, the, what is it called? CDI or CDR. How do you get this list? That's what I want to know. Where did this list come from? Window size. Yeah, so I think what has to happen in order for this to work is I think you have to connect to the debugger port. I don't think you can do a full size. Full page. What did I just copy? Nothing? I copied no. Oh, no. I should rename that to resources. So where do I go? Okay. How do I print out the list of options? That didn't work. I did just try that, right? It didn't print out before. Okay, let's try a couple of things. One, force device scale factor. I don't know if that's right. Malformed window size. Okay, fine. All right, let's say... Okay, let's see if we refresh what we get here. Okay, so this does not seem to be right. So I should be able to refresh this and see nothing. Okay. And then I should be able to redo this. And then, what have I got? All right, that's still not working. So I'm going to get rid of that window size option entirely. Let's see what happens. Nothing. I'm getting the sense that maybe something is not right here. Let's do, so hide scroll bars. How about we get rid of that? Okay, now we've got scroll bars. So something's working. What if we get rid of full page? Because I have a feeling perhaps full page conflicts with that other one there. And that scale factor might be wrong as well. Okay, so we're just getting this little view. That stinks. Okay, let me check comments again. All I'm writing is for loops and if statements. That's all there is. All right, gotta go. Have a good night. All right, have a good one. You should not have to focus on indenting. Indenting is not something that you focus on. Indenting is something that you should understand. I don't know how to say it other than that. It's like, if you're a cook, you should... Indenting is the salt of coding. If you're a cook, you have to have a sense for... I don't know. Analogies all break down. But it's not something you should be focused on. It's something that should come naturally. It should not feel like a nuisance. It should feel natural. If it feels like a nuisance, there's something amiss. There's a disconnect. So, but good luck to you. Have a good one. Okay, so this is not working out the way that I'd hoped. Yeah, that's just, it's not gonna work for me. I could get rid of the scale factor. Oh, you got some new shoes there, buddy?
I got new socks.
And you got new socks?
This is the ladder.
Indeed, that is a ladder.
Do you have this Nintendo in here?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, can you play it now?
No, I'm not playing it now. I am trying to get screenshots.
Whoopsie.
Hey, Dad. Your Nintendo.
Yep.
It has like
Hey, don't step on your shoes. You're gonna rip them before you get to wear them to church.
All right.
Okay, let's go. You look fancy, you know.
Fancy.
They're nice shoes. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so that did not do me any good. I will have to try it a different way. Puppeteer it is. Do you want to do dinner sometime?
I'm not probably still from that food.
Sounds good.
Are you with it?
Not necessarily, no.
Oh, I think I'll get the food first.
Whoa, watch out, buddy.
Let's go. Daddy's working. Come on. Say bye, Dad. You're gonna fall out.
Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do npm init. Yeah, I'll just call it screenshots, whatever, description, doesn't matter, entry point, doesn't matter, test command, doesn't matter. Your repository doesn't matter, keywords don't matter, author, license, none of it matters. Okay, what we need though is to install, save, Puppeteer. I think that's how you spell it. Okay, good. I was afraid of that. That's a very difficult one to spell. I'm glad to see that npm, the base set of tools in npm now prevent installing or creating spam packages like that. At least to that degree. Okay. Puppeteer, right? Is it this way? Did I spell it right this time? I spelled it right this time. Downloads compatible Chrome during installation. All right, Puppeteer core. Okay. Browser page, go to set viewport. Where's the screenshot? Really? Can I not get the encoding to be... Yes, this is what I want. I want UN8 array. Yes, please. That'll take up less memory. Why don't they have it in JavaScript? This is very annoying. I don't want to see all the TypeScript crap. Just show me how do I use it in JavaScript. This is very confusing. Just show me the JSON. Por favor. All right. Wait, hold on. I don't think they mean that. I don't think that, because the documentation elsewhere said that it was UN8 array, not binary. Binary is typically not what you would want to use from the surface rather than the view. I don't even know what that means. Oh, does that include the... Okay, full page. Okay, so full page. Optimize for speed. Path, okay. Oh. That's great. Ooh. WebP. Okay, so this all looks good. So I don't think they mean binary. I think they mean UTF-8, because binary refers to UCS2 strings, which I do not think that that's what they mean here. I wish they would you call it typed array, call it UN8 array, call it array buffer, but it is not binary. Binary is a legacy thing. Do it? Node does. Call it null. All right. Also, I want to give a little bit of context, because I've talked about, the indentation problem. I think it is a core litmus test. I wish, in some ways, well, you never know what the unintended consequences of it are, but in some ways I wish my wife had learned to code. She took 2 or 3 coding classes, and, well, she did not love it. I'll give you that much. But she couldn't get the indentation. I've seen it with a lot of people. Anyway. So it's, yeah. Okay, where am I at? I wonder if I could do this with Bun. Let's just try it, see what happens. We'll do it with Node first, because, that's how it's supposed to work, right? Okay, use strict var. No, I've got letters in all the wrong places. Okay. Oh goodness, this looks like it makes it so easy. Async await has been a game changer. I'm glad that, I didn't like the early adoption of it because people were adopting it when it made things much more complicated and were primarily using it incorrectly. But now that it's actually available in the browsers, I am very, very glad that it's there. I think that in a lot of ways, the semantics are much more confusing than promises because maybe it's not the semantics that I'm talking about, but what is with all this GPT comments? Like browser launch the browser, new page, open new page. Really? All right, no, we're good. Don't worry about this. I'm being a negative Nancy. My apologies. Negative Nancy came out. My apologies. My bad. I just, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can get what we're looking for. We don't need a save. Wait and click on the first result. Interesting. Okay. Full page is true. I want to set full surface and full page both to true. I want to see what happens. Let me go ahead and get my... what did I need here? Vim Essentials, Vim Commentary. I don't need Go for this one. So let's just get Vim Essentials and Vim Commentary. There we go. Whoa! Oh, I know what that's about. Or maybe I don't. Let's go ahead and... Get some JSWT on the scene. That's JavaScript with types. JSWT is the opposite of TypeScript. It gives you all the typing without any of the TypeScript. Using JavaScript types in JavaScript? Unthinkable! Okay, so something else is wrong here. Okay, cannot read. You know, I've had this problem before. Let's see. Was it? Let me take a look down this list. Run levels, fonts, no. Okay, that's fine. So that shouldn't be a problem. Thought it had to do with the Unicode, but that shouldn't be it. I just take the Unicode out just in case. Get current version. Oh, is Prettier not here? Did we forget Prettier? What is going on? Cannot read. Use is 16%. There's nothing wrong with hemp, right? Trying to remember what this is from. I've had this problem before. Okay. Let me just try doing a search for it. We could try just getting rid of them Prettier for now. Let's see. I'm also just going to try this and see what happens. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I want to get going forward. Okay, so there's something in there that doesn't work well on Alpine. Oh, you know what it is? Bash. That was it. That was it. I got to put that in my Alpine Essentials real quick. And maybe I could make a contribution. I don't quite understand. Oh, hold on. Let me get RG. Let's get RG on the scene, everybody. Let's try this again. Okay, that's a bug over here. Um, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Get out. Okay. So Bash is not an Alpine. All right. All right. And I have not had any problems other than this, I don't think so. There we go. All right, we can fix that later. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh wait, let's go refix. I re-broke it, so I can refix it. Okay, 1080, some height, screenshot, binary from surface. I think that's going to give us the Chrome of the browser, which will be neat. Although I'll be interested to see how it handles the corners. Hopefully with transparency. I wonder if we get a drop shadow on that. That'd be nice to have a drop shadow on that, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so we can get rid of this, get rid of this. Okay, omit background. Okay, so we could try. Oh, how do we set the browser? We probably have, there's probably a method for that. How do I open Puppeteer? There's no chromium here. It's not helpful. Executable path. There we go. Obviously not a constant. Obviously not a constant. How do I print out successive? How do I use console to print out how long something is taking? I want about 6 times. Can I reuse time? Yeah, I'd prefer not to do that, but I guess I can. I don't know. Navigating. All right, taking screenshot. All right, that'll be good enough to give me a basic sense for now. All right, there we go. Bah, humbug. Dooply 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 da. What? What? All right, let's try it again. What do you want? Feel it every day, man. Taking a really long time to open the browser. I'm wondering if it's not opening the browser. I mean, that's taking a really, really, really long time. Let's see if we can H-top this. Yeah, I think that's not working out for us. So we can get some more instruction. Executable path. Puppeteer launch. I accept your respect. Do you know that? Do I know what? Do I know that you respect me? I know that ChatGPT respects me. I know. I'm very well aware. Headless false. All right, what's going on here? Like, I'm very, very, very confused. All right, Chromium Puppeteer. Well, it's probably dinner time. Okay. Yeah, I'm very confused. Could I just have how do I tell Romy or Puppeteer which port to connect to? All right. Why nobody watching? I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess they got better things to do. Specify the port here. Tells Chromium. How do I tell it to connect? Whoa! Whoa, you were able to make pictures appear on the screen! That's amazing! I'm gonna go see what these pictures mean. Oh, you speak all languages. That's the way the GPT is. It speaks all of the languages. Okay, so here's what I'm going to try to do then. I'm going to try to start this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. In headless mode. No, remote. What is the normal port? We'll just go with that 9222 thing for now. Come on. So executable path is a no. So we're not going to launch it. Instead, ultimately, I think we do need to launch it, though. Okay, I'm just going to say, all right. Show me an example of how to use Puppeteer with Chromium browser to take a screenshot of example.com. I am mostly alone. Do you know? Is that Hindi? It's detected as Arabic. No. How long you been programming for? About 20 years. And I'm self-taught. Okay. I'm confused because this looks like the same thing that I already have. It seems like... Okay. All right, we're going to try it this way. We're going to see if anything's different if we try it this way. Okay, so now, navigating, go to this page, open the browser. Debugging port 922222222222222. Opening page. What's going on here? Something very strange is going on. I'm going to ask GPT what DNS options there are. We might have to try this on Ubuntu with Chrome and then walk it back and walk it back. No. No, for Puppeteer and Chromium browser. Stop! Wait. Let's try this. Okay, this looks right. So let's try to fix this. Failed to read DNS config. Ooh! Let's see what we get. Opening page. It's not working. It's just sitting there. I think there's, well, something's going wrong. All right, disable GPU, remote debugging. I mean, let's take a look at all this stuff here. I'm not texting you, ChatGPT. Pretty much just begun my journey. I'm the very basics right now. It's fun to see the results of the work. I want to get to the point that I can make mods for video games and video games themselves. Project I'm working on. I'm just trying to make a tool that takes browser screenshots. I'm just making slow progress. Okay, disable GPU, virtual time budget, window size, screenshot full page, hide scroll bars. Hide scroll bars probably should be here as well. Let's see. And actually, let's go ahead. Ping it. Permission denied. Are you root? Okay. What is our actual IF config? What's our actual gateway? Is this our gateway? No, I don't want our gateway. I want our Etsy resolve. Okay. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to see if I can take a screenshot. Oh, I don't think I want to do map. No, I don't think I want to do this one. I think this is not what I actually want. Let me go check and see what it said there. But I don't think that's what I want. I think what this is saying is all domains should resolve to this address. I don't think that's saying to use this resolver, because it's saying map. It's not saying resolve. Okay. I'll check comments in just a second. Okay. I'm just going to leave that one alone. Failed to read DNS config. Yeah, we're probably going to have to do it on Ubuntu. It's probably just not going to work with this right now for whatever reason. Okay, Puppeteer. See if I can find documentation for Connect. Puppeteer Connect. Connect options, promise a browser, connect options, browser URL, capabilities, headers, transport. Yeah, we'll figure that out. All right. What inspired you to take on this project? I was just working on something and I wanted to have a screenshot. Well, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to embed a web page in another page just to be able to view it, not necessarily to interact with it. But then you got the issues of, well, if you just take the HTML, then you got the script issues and the CSS issues. So that's kind of a non-starter. You could do iframes, but iframes don't really work reliably these days because of the security issues with them. And so I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll just take a screenshot of it and put the image in there, and that'll do exactly what I want. Or at least good enough. But, you know, projects, they take on a life of their own. So we'll have to try the WebSocket as well. It's never simple. It never just works. Okay. And I don't want to use Chrome. I want to use Chromium. Actually, I want to use Servo, but I thought this would be super easy to use Chromium with Puppeteer. All right, so it looks like this made it in. Headless, DevTools. Okay. Browser. I don't remember what mermaid is. Okay. I'm still here. Advise me. Advise you what? What am I advising you? What was your first programming language? I don't want to talk about it. I feel embarrassed. My programming language of love is Go. And my first professional programming language was Node. Okay, it's open. It says opening the page. It doesn't do anything. Okay, so I'm going to have to try this on... I mean, if we were to see failed to read DNS config, da 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 da. Let's try Alpine. Dump.io equals true. Args, no sandbox. All right, so this, I guess this is just more complicated than I had, or there's more missing pieces here than, oops, I had anticipated. All right. I'm just documenting as I go. Because, you know, at some point you got to figure out what you did to get things working, you know? And so if you document as you go, then you end up with, hopefully, being able to figure out what it was that made things work. Okay, Docker file. Chromium. NSS. Chromium Chrome driver. Okay, we could try that. Those might be important. I'll have to check and see when this was last updated. But this would make total sense. Chrome, bin, Chrome, yeah. Why would we want no sandbox? Ah, okay, okay. All right, all right. I'm on board now. Okay. No sandbox due to containerization. We might need to do nested or something like that. But yeah, we can throw in the no sandbox. And I can add a couple more dependencies. The NSS seems to make sense because that seems to be highly related to one of the problems that I'm having. Okay, so that one, that one, that one, that... Uh-oh. We got too many. Okay, so this first one, this is going to be Caddy. This next one, this is going to be Chromium Browser. This next one, oops, this is going to be Node Screenshot. Okay, so it's still not opening the page. So we're still having a problem. So we need to go back over here and figure out what else is wrong. No sandbox, disable GPU. So let's try this. Oops. Sudo apk add. It's not a good sign. When was this last updated? Oh, 3 years ago? Yeah. We could try with just these. No sandbox, headless, disable GPU, remote debugging port. So let's try with fewer options. Let's try them in the same order that they have them there. All right, so Chromium Browser. This stinks, man. I thought this would be super easy because it's Chromium. All right, so that's obviously not working. Let's change this up again. So we'll enable this. We'll disable this. And we'll try letting it do it all on its own. Doesn't seem like it's working. So I wonder what that means. Okay. Have you worked on a project and lost it all or a significant chunk of it? Not something that I was working on for days, but I have lost code I was working on for hours. But thankfully, thanks to streaming and thanks to being able to use this clip tool to be able to copy text out of images, I was able to recover it pretty quickly. Well, X is not installed and X should not be running. This is supposed to be running headless. So yeah, I'm just trying to take a screenshot via the API, but I'm going to give up on this one. I'm going to come back later. I thought this was going to be super quick because just getting it to the basic bit of taking the screenshot with the CLI tool is fine. But the thing is, I don't want to just take the screenshot of the page. I want it to be in high DPI mode, and I want it to be in the full width of the page. So let me show you something. Let me see if I can do this in Safari. So if we go to Safari and I go to the same thing that I'm trying to take, well, we can use this one actually. This one works just fine. So if I go here, and I think it's under develop, there's a developer settings, feature flags, window. Let's see. Is it here? Blah, 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 blah. I think I had something about. Okay, where was Safari? No, okay. All right, open Safari, developer tools, command option I, web inspector, show development menu bar. I've already got that one open. Okay. Select responsive design mode. Enter responsive design mode. Okay, there we are. All right, then what? Command Shift S. What? That's not correct. Command Shift S, that's save. Okay. Hold on. Show reader view. This is probably old. Yeah, it's back in 2020. I'm pretty sure they've got... I thought this was a thing. You can do it on the iPhone. Turn on the development menu. Start inspecting. Okay, let's go to show web inspector. All right, let's just do that just for good measure here. Capture screenshot. There we go. There it is. Or where'd my download go? All right, hold on. I'll bring it up here just a second. All right. This is what I'm trying to do. This right here. This is the goal. That's what I want to do. And you can do it in Chrome. You should be able to do it in Chromium. Launch. New page. All right, I'll try one more thing. I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try one more thing, and then I'm going to go. The reason I say I don't think this is going to work Because this is going to save a version of Chrome that's not actually going to be able to run. Okay. Almost looks like X. Yeah, I see a million times over. I'll choose you. I'll choose you, Pika GPT. All right. So let's try again. All right, let's try this. Yeah. Opening the browser, but it never gets to opening the page. Well, you know, that's what I get for trying to do it with Alpine, right? It's just, this is not something that's built for Alpine. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. I'm going to try one more thing, and then I'm going to give up. Didn't I say that 10 minutes ago? Looking up something on the other screen. All right, we're gonna try this too. We're going to throw allowed IPs and allowed origins onto the end of this. Oh, whoops. That needs to be escaped in that way. All right, this is looking a lot better. I'd be interested to see what happens just with this. Just for funsies. Opening browser. Give it 3 seconds. Opening page. Nope. All right. Opening browser, opening page, and nothing. All right, I give up. I give up. I'm gonna take the path more taken, because this is not working out. It's not worth it. What I'm saving is some megabytes and potentially some processing power, but this is eating into my life. So I'm going to have to give up on that one. And when I come back, I'm going to try first. I'm going to go all the way down to just Chrome on Ubuntu. Then I'll try to get Chromium working on Ubuntu. Then I'll try to get Brave working. And then I'll try to get Servo working. And if I get Servo working, I can probably get Servo working on Alpine. But Servo is going to be a different thing. Actually, I don't know if I've got the stamina for all of that. I might just call it a day if I can get Brave working. That would be really great. Anyway, I got to go. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next time if you want to. Catch you later. Adios.